Hello and welcome to our segment today where we talk around airline distribution and the rise of new distribution capability that airlines are bringing to market. I'm here joined by Nicole Regel, who is our Sabre Global Account Director. Hi, my name's Chris Wilks. I'm Flight Centre Travel Group's General Manager for Air Distribution. Welcome, Nicole.
Thank you. It's been great to be here. Appreciate to be part of it.
Great to have you, Nicole. The last 2 years have been a very stressful time for the industry. Obviously, no one could prepare ourselves for the grounding or nearly the complete halt of aviation globally.
Yep.
So the last 2 years have been very difficult, but at the same time, airlines have taken this opportunity to disrupt the market in some cases, particularly when it comes to the way that they're handling potentially new agreements as well as their investment in technology. Mm-hmm. How is Sabre dealing with this new landscape that we've entered into?
Look, it's been absolutely challenging in the last couple of years, and what the pandemic has done has made us have to talk to airlines about what does the new distribution models look like moving forward. And I think from a Sabre point of view, it's really important to understand that we're negotiating on behalf of the entire travel ecosystem. So we're challenging to make sure that what those new distribution models look like actually operate fairly for both the supplier, the travel management company and the end consumer. And so they can be challenging, but that is our job, is to make sure that we get a right and equitable outcome for the entire marketplace.
Yeah. And for FCM, it's really important that we have the breadth of content to service our customers. So
absolutely.
Our partnership together is integral to ensure that's the case.
And we've done it together, right? So, there's been a lot of discussions that we've had to make sure that those outcomes have been done as a partnership, and we've got a win-win for everybody. So that's been great. And
we're seeing a lot of airlines investing in the new distribution capability, and particularly in this part of the world, Qantas and Singapore Airlines have invested heavily in the last couple of years around their capability and offers and testing those offers to market. Flight Centre Travel Group has been one of the first agencies globally to be certified as level 4 in NDC capability, meaning that we are ready and able to offer NDC, offer an order management capability for our customers. And we've done this in partnership with Sabre as well. But the investment, there's a lot of things that need to be considered when it comes to new distribution capabilities. There is a lot of change that we have to consider. And for FCM in particular, the end-to-end servicing of those bookings is critical, but each carrier is at a different phase in their journey.
Totally, and I think that's the key to all of NDC, this new distribution capability, is we're really at the initial phasing of what does new retailing look like in the future. You're right, Flight Centre Travel Group and Sabre have been partners from day one, many years ago, and we're still at the beginning of that journey. And how do we recreate the travel ecosystem from start to finish where there's a full service? Every airline is doing this differently. So there's different standards and there's different capabilities. Our job is to make sure that we bring to you a aggregated position on how that operates, even though every airline, be it Qantas or Virgin or Singapore specifically in this market, they're looking at it differently, and their capabilities are different at different stages of the timeline. So Sabre's role in all of this is to make sure that we create a single efficient platform with the level of capability, but we really need to understand that every airline is coming at a different time frame, different stage, different capability, and so that's going to be a challenge for, I still think, many years to come. So,
yes, it's for FCM and the Flight Centre Travel Group as a whole, standardisation by airlines is going to be really critical to ensure that NDC can scale at mass. If each carrier is doing something quite different, it can be very complex, but the role that we play together is to really take that complexity away for our customers to ensure that they are, the bookings are made seamless.
Absolutely.
So, as part of our partnership, we're working closely, obviously, with airlines, particularly Qantas and Singapore Airlines, who are advanced in this space, to ensure that those airlines are aware of what our customers need.
And I think that's the key point of it as well, is taking the experience that you have as a travel management company looking after your corporate customers, but also Sabre's background in technology and how do we functionally and capability make that happen. The devil's in the detail, and so unfortunately, as I said before, we're still at the start of the journey, and we're uncovering the detail, which is going to take some time. And so when comparisons are made of what can be done or can't be done, it's the work that's happening behind the scenes that we're doing collectively to make that happen is still going to take some time.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. And of course, FCM is a launch partner within the Sabre Beyond program. And
I think we call you Customer Zero. So.
Right, okay, great. And we're obviously part of a lot of the NDC pilots with carriers like United that are happening.
You're with all of them. So every carrier that we've gone to pilot, FCM's been part of that process.
No, it's been fantastic in the partnership. So, whilst NDC could be considered disruptive, from an FCM perspective, we're fully embracing NDC as an initiative. We can see the value that this is going to bring customers with bringing product to market, airlines content to market, which is critical for us. Hence why. We want to bring that value out for our customers, and we're both putting a lot of investment to it to make sure that this is a complete success. So, in terms of our engagement in industry bodies with IATA, as well as leading technical partners in Sabre, we're at the forefront to make sure that this is a success for airlines and, of course, for our customers.
Totally.
So Nick, we spoke about the last couple of years in terms of turmoil of the aviation industry and travel in general, but it's been a great time to double down on investment to make sure that we're all ready for the re-emergence and recovery of travel. What has Sabre been focusing on over the last couple of years?
I mean, like every company in this industry, we've been focusing on how to survive through the pandemic and unfortunately had to make some difficult decisions as well. But we've absolutely doubled down on our tech transformation and investments, knowing that it will bring us good stead as the recovery comes out now and as we start to look towards the future. Obviously, we need to talk about the partnership we have with Google. So a lot of our focus at the moment has been our tech transformation and moving a lot of our infrastructure to the Google Cloud. What that does is create a modern platform that we have in the future that will mean that we can innovate a lot quicker, we can do things to market a lot faster and do things differently than potentially we've done in the past. Also, the partnership has allowed us to gain access to experienced individuals in the Google and collaborate with them and come up with different ideas than maybe we've thought about ourselves in the past and how things used to be. Right. So we've definitely been focusing on that. Our focus obviously is to create that global travel marketplace for retailing in 2025, and that is continuing to be a focus for us moving forward. Yeah. The exciting part about that is, what that's done for our current products in Sabre Red 360 and how do we retail and how do we show the airline content on our displays and how do we make that in a way where it's using big data as well to make sure that we get the right offers in front of your consultants so that they can increase revenue but also be more efficient and get the right offer in front of the customer at the right time. So it's fair to say that Sabre has continued to invest in your own solutions and really keep ahead of the market. We haven't stopped. No. We haven't stopped at all. And the exciting thing is actually where we're going as well. So a lot of what we're doing moving forward is with Google in regards to our AI, our artificial intelligence and our machine learning. That's in its infancy. A lot of what we've done is in the airline space, but we're now starting to see some really good examples of where that's being used in agency space. Yeah. We have access to a lot of big data and insights where we can predict customer behaviour. So how can you utilise that as part of increasing revenue or creating efficiencies in your operations or just, being able to put, it's not just about the price of the ticket anymore, it's about the value of the travel offer and what's included and having transparency of everything that's included in that journey than just the airline price and ticket. Yeah. And so some of that stuff is going to be really exciting as we get to be able to bring that into market, into our products. So this marries perfectly with what airlines are wanting to bring to market as well in terms of, some of these capabilities that they're bringing to market around continuous pricing, bundled products, frequent flyer offers or and knowing what's included, lounge passes. Right? And that's right. Knowing what's included when you've got one price or the second price or a third price, well, what's the difference? Yeah. Because there's different value adds that people, people find more important than others. So,
and I think a key about this is also, some of the sustainability messaging that can be provided through to our corporate customers as well. Obviously, sustainability is a key focus, on a lot of customers' company profiles. So, this technology is going to be able to really provide additional information in that
And we've got
regard.
some really cool things going into pilot shortly, which is really exciting, which I know Flight Centre Travel Group is going to be part of, looking at that. And so it'll be really interesting to see where we can take some of that stuff.
Oh, that's great.
Yep.
Thanks, Nicole. So, Nicole, part of the theme for the Think conference is around choice, intelligence and service. How is Sabre supporting those themes?
Sure. Let me start with choice. It goes back to what we talked about before in airline content and making sure that we get the right content for you and your customers, and so that therefore they've got the choice that they need. We need access to the content, and that gives you the choice. Right? That seems like a simple statement, but as we know in the last couple of years through the disruption and the pandemic, that's not so simple. So, but our job is to make sure that you've got the content of choice. From an intelligence point of view, we have a lot of products that help you make those intelligent decisions and buying decisions. From products such as agency retailer or lodging retailer, where you can, determine and decide what your customer wants to actually focus on purchasing. You might have some, preferred properties or preferred partnerships with airlines, and we've got products that can help you and have the intelligence to make that efficient for your consultants or for the buyer to actually make those buying decisions for their corporate customer.
There's a lot of tweaking of the system to ensure that the right content is appearing for our customers.
Totally. And that could be different for every customer, right? So depending on different policies or agreements that you've got in place, and we make sure that we've got to give you the tools that you can configure that, what you need to do to give that intelligence to the end buyer through that process. So I think that's a really important part. And then from a service point of view, especially coming out of the pandemic, it's all about, automation. We're all trying to do things smarter with a lot less, unfortunately, of where we're at right now. So, how do we automate where we can without losing the service of the person and the expertise of your consultants? But then there's also a lot of functions that, say, Automation Hub does or Fare Optimizer does that actually automates the process and allows your team and your consultants to spend time on the things that they need to be spending time on, where is the knowledge and the expertise, and giving the advice to the customers where they need. So I think we support in all three of those areas, which is exciting. Yeah,
I mean, the key for us, for our customers, is to make sure that the end-to-end booking is completed in the most efficient manner possible.
Totally.
With the right content, and Sabre certainly help us perform that for our customers. So it's great that you're continuing to invest in that as well. And as distribution complexity keeps evolving, these solutions are integral to make sure that for the customer it's a really seamless exercise for them.
And I think it's really important that I know that we've talked a lot about airlines and distribution, but it's not just about the airlines, it's about the hotels and the whole experience. And a lot of the work that we've done with our content services for lodging product is how do you get access to the right hotel programs as well as the right price and the distribution of that as well. So there's more to this journey than just air. But it's the whole end-to-end of the travel arrangement.
Yeah.
So,
And as just on that, I mean, as NDC comes to more and more so into this ecosystem, as we mentioned earlier, airlines at different levels of their capability. But for us at FCM, we want to make sure that when airlines bring capability, that it's at a certain level to ensure that those end-to-end workflows aren't disrupted.
Totally.
We need to make sure that it's an efficient process for our customers. So it's really important that we continue to work with the airlines to educate them on the level of capability that is needed to really bring content to market.
And that's part of our experience as well, is knowing that we've been the system that's been supporting yourselves for many years, is making sure that they understand as I said before, the devil in the detail of what needs to happen to make sure that that process doesn't break, and making sure that, you know, we can go from, you know, searching to booking to fulfilling to servicing to what happens when they're actually overseas and travelling and something gets disrupted, and how do you deal with that, and making sure that we, you know, we help you streamline that, not just from the TMC point of view, but the airline point of view as well.
Yep.
Our role is to make sure that that process is simplified.
Yeah. No, great. Thank you. Thanks, Nicole, for your time. It's been an interesting conversation around exploring the complexity with airline distribution.
Oh, you're welcome. I thank you for having me. I've always liked to be part of all of the events for FCM.
Well, together we make travel happen. So, you know, our partnership with Sabre is, we couldn't do this without you guys. So thank you for really making sure that for our customers globally that we're making the complex look easy, and you know, we've got a great working partnership. So thank you.
I'm so excited now. Let's work through the recovery and let's come out the other side and make some real magic happen now.
Great. Thanks, Nicole.
Thanks.